If you've been working with wireframes of Power BI dashboards, you may have heard about Figma, and some people may have heard that Figma is really difficult to work with. However, I believe that once you know how to work with Figma, which is quite easy, it becomes a really rich experience and you can create some really innovative content. One of the benefits that it has is the community and the dashboard samples that you can see, get inspired from, and you can include them in your work. And that is what we are going to do in this video. In this video, we will go through the process of building a high-fidelity wireframe in Figma. If you're new to Figma, I highly recommend you to watch my video on Figma, where I start from the basics and explain how to design dashboard backgrounds in Figma. For more videos on Power BI, please check out my channel where I share my knowledge and ideas. We are going to build this dashboard wireframe in the video. If you want to know how we create a wireframe from the scratch for a given dataset, you can check out the video on my channel, which you can see on the screen. The screen is divided into different sections. On the left hand side, you can see the logo section and the navigation section. At the top, we have got the messages and the notification section. Here we've got the welcome message and the title of the page. We've got the filter and the active filters area. In the KPI sections, we have got two summarized KPIs along with more details such as the target value and the achieved value. Because it's a sales overview dashboard, we've got the revenue and the profit margin. In the middle row, we can find the trends and the driver section. In the trends, we have got the revenue and the profit margin monthly trend. So we have got this prior year, which is shown as the line. We have got these columns, which are the actuals, and we have got like the target met and the target missed. Also, we've got some of the values which are basically the profit margins, either achieved or missed. Here we've got the revenue by region. As you can see, the 4 different regions, whether they are performing good or performing bad. Similarly, we have the revenue by product category. In the last section, we've got the sales agent details, where we start with the KPI, mention the target and the achieved value. We show the percent of agents meeting the targets and some of the details here. In summary, it's a very simple dashboard that we are building here, and our main purpose in this video is to learn how we can build different components and visuals in Figma. We'll start by creating a new Figma design file. The first step would be that we would create a frame. Click here and just click anywhere on the canvas and you would have this frame 100 by 100. You're going to make it 1920 by 1080 because this is the dimension of our Power BI canvas. Zoom to fit, and now we have got this frame. Then we would give it a slightly light gray color. So let's put it something like FB. So we have a slightly light gray color, and then in the middle of this I would place a rectangle with rounded corners. So we will click here, rectangle, put it here, and then we would set the size. So maybe something like this, and here, something like this. Then we click on alignment again. Now it's in the center of the frame, as you can see. We'll set the round corners, make it something like this, and fill, it should be white. Then let's add some effects, drop shadow, and let's make it maybe 11, 18, 43, and 0. And the color, let's make it 7%. So these are some of the numbers that I have already tried on my canvas before. But in case if you are doing it for the first time, of course, you will have to do a hit and trial. As we can see on the screen in this low fidelity mockup, that we have got the left side for the menu, the top section for the filters and the welcome message. Then we've got the KPI section, the trends and the drivers section, and then we have the sales agent section. Back to the canvas, what we're going to do is to bring some lines in. So let's put one line here. I'll set the color of this line to gray. You can choose any gray from here. I would go for D3. Here you can see a very subtle line that is dividing this dashboard. Control C, Control V, and I've got another line. Rotate it like this and bring it here. and expand it all the way. So this one is done. Now we'll put the KPI section, the trend section, and then the button section. So let's put some rectangles here. Put one rectangle here. The fill, it should be this one, the one that we have, D3, D3. In fact, this one is going to be white and the stroke is going to be this one, D3, D3. Let's expand it a bit more. Something like this. And just, okay. Set the round corners. That looks better. Now we'll make two rectangles here. So like this. And then Control-C, Control-V. Expand this one to this. Let's see, Control-V. Yeah, maybe I can increase this a bit more, increase this a bit more, and then we distribute them evenly in the vertical spacing. Then this one, I am planning to keep it full. As you can see in the low fidelity wireframe, that this one is the full rectangle. And here I am going to make it slightly bigger like this, and then paste it here. Then make it smaller, something like this, Control-C, Control-V, and here. This is the wireframe that we have created. Now we will focus on the first KPI, and we are going to bring in the line. I'll zoom in like this, and I am going to put a line here. This has to be 90. And then this would again be D3. Now we are going to build the mockup of the KPI, as you can see on the screen in the sample. So we are going to put the text box here and call it revenue year to date, and then another text box here, another text box here, and we are going to put the amount, some random amount that you can think of. This one, the font size is interregular 17. Let's make it slightly smaller. Then you can choose whatever color you want from your theme. In my theme, it's 7A48F3. So I will use this color, and I will make it semi-bold. That's fine. For this one, I'm gonna make it, usually I use Source Sans. So you can select any kind of professional font, and we're going to give it a bold look because this is how the KPI should be, more pronounced than the other factors or elements in that particular area. We're going to bring in uptrend, this one, and first let's take this out from the frame. So select it, take it out from the frame, delete this one, and set its aspect ratio, make it something like this, and then you're going to bring in another text, let's say 12.1%, and this one is going to be inter. Regular, small, and resizing should be auto. This one should be small, something like this. Then we make it equal, and this has to be some color. Usually I use the specific green that I have, and this one also, you can select the fill from here. So this one is good. Let's see how it looks on zoom to fit. Yeah, it looks better, but I think we can make it slightly bigger. So let's try to increase it. Yeah, and maybe we can make it semi-bold. Yeah, this one also we can make it something like this. Now let's zoom in. Now we make another text frame here versus last year. All of this we can make it slightly darker gray. And 1, 2, 3, we make them equal. We take this one and we group it. And then what we are going to do, maybe I'll just make it regular. This one is even better. And then what we are going to do is to put the target here. So growth versus last year. I'm going to select this and paste it here. Make it growth versus last year. Shift this slightly towards the left and this here. Then I am going to put the target. So again, copy, paste like this and paste it again like this. Here I'm going to type target. This one achieved. Okay, I'll copy this, Control V, and this one is going to be black. I'm going to write 15%. This one was the target. Control C, Control V, and select this, this layer, and then it would be 12.1%. Then we are going to bring in one rectangle here. This one, the stroke is going to be, the fill is going to be this red, but the opacity will be like very light, something like this. We are showing how it would look when it's a negative value. Okay, and I'll copy this color for the stroke as well. So I'll put it, but this time it's going to be like that. And the corner radius, let's make it something. Then I am going to click outside, bring in this one, and then I'm gonna write here missed. So I'm gonna bring this one up here. Okay, so then I'm gonna type in by 2.9%. Then I'm gonna set this and this aligned. This one should be smaller text. The font should be this one. So I think I can make this fill even slightly lighter, something like that, in the middle, So this one is done. What I see is that the fonts are really light, so we need to make them dark. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we can make them darker like this. Also, I think that these 3, they can be made smaller, something like this. Even this one, we can make it 13. This KPI is complete. Once we have created this KPI, we are going to group all of the elements. We will press Control, click and drag, right click. First, we're going to ungroup everything. Then Control, click and drag, right click, group selection. This group, it is outside, so let's bring this thing inside here. Okay, now everything is within this frame. That's perfect. Once we have created this KPI, it's very easy to create the other one, which is the gross profit year to date KPI. We'll simply do a Control C and a Control V to paste, and then select these two, align these two, align them at the top. So this one is done. Now we will click here, and this one would be gross profit. In fact, it's profit margin, sorry, profit margin year to date. Let's put something like 25.6%. This is just a sample number. And for this one, simply flip it vertical, and there it goes. It's going down, and this is a red one. This one is also red. So now what we are showing is, let's say we are showing minus 1.1 1.1%. So it's going down versus last year. Okay. And for the target was 25%. What we have achieved is 25.6, right? So this is we have exceeded the target, so we will put exceeded by 0.6 and it's in percentage. Select all of these elements and change these colors with the green ones. No, sorry, this one and this one has to be 6%. Okay, maybe we can increase it just a bit. Okay, we don't have to say growth versus last year. It has to be margin. It has to be margin to maintain, because we want to maintain a profit margin of 25% throughout the year. Now the third one is we want to create a trend line, a combo chart where we would have a trend line as well as some of the columns. So for that, we are going to go to some samples that are available in the Figma community. We're going to copy some of the elements and bring them into our chart. Sales dashboard. Okay, so we have got this dashboard, sales and business intelligence. Once we go to this dashboard, we have got this segment and we will keep on double clicking on our desired element till we reach. So here we can see that there's a graph. So Control C and I paste it here. I've got this thing. Okay. And then I will click on Control C, Control V. I've got this one. And then we start to make it like this and this. Okay, so this one looks better, and then we are going to bring this like that. Delete, double click this one, delete one, delete. We have to put it like custom. So this is for the prior year. Control X, bring them here and then paste January, bring it here. We have to bring it somewhere here. And then we select all of these, group them, and then we horizontal space it. So this is done. The process that we are doing here, we are doing it for the first time. That's why it might take some time. However, it's not always taking time because you will have this group ready by the time you have to import it into your new chart. So I've got another chart that is for the columns. So let's say if I want to select a few of these columns till June, Control C. Okay, after I have pasted this column, I will adjust only the first one and the last one, and then I will select all of them and say distribute horizontal spacing. And let's say I want to select a blue color, this thing. I want to decrease the width, make it something like this. And again, I think I might need to do it again, so it's better to adjust the width before. And once I have clicked here, distribute horizontal spacing, control and select all of these, right click, group selection, move them towards the right, or maybe even just make them smaller. Yeah, just select all of these here and make them like this. Now what we will do is we will select all of these and select it as interregular, but this one should be dark. All of these have to be interregular. This one regular, and the color, it should also be custom, this one. And in case if you want to keep the conditional formatting, these two are they have a less opacity or they didn't meet the target, so we can make it something like this. Select all of these and right click, group the selection. We have grouped all of this selection now. Then what we are going to do is Control C, select this group and then Control V. So it will be pasted inside the group with the exact dimensions and the offset. So let's say I want to remove this one, revenue and profit margin, monthly trend, place a legend as well. Click here and then add ellipse inside the group. Then we are going to make it like really small, something like this. So this one would be target mid, which is this. Control C, Control V. And this one would be this. And then again, it would be like this. Great. Okay. Control, click and drag on group. And then right click and group selection. Now the best part is that we can reuse this visual as many times as we want in other dashboards. The only thing that we have to do, in case even if we have to change the colors, it's quite easy, because once you click on this group, you can go to the selection colors. So in case if you have to recolor all of these bars to red, including these ones, what you have to do is to click on this color, and let's say if you want to turn it to orange, you will do this and you click here and you will click on this orange, and all of the bars are orange. Even these legends are orange as well. So this is quite easy to reuse. So it always takes a bit longer when you're doing it for the first time, but once you're done with it, then it's very easy to replicate. There is one more thing that we have to do, is to add the profit margin, and for that I'm going to reuse these text boxes. Control C, Control V, and here you go. And what I'm gonna do is, let's say this one was 30%. Now in case if we want to color these boxes as green, so we will simply select the green one, this one as orange. We can select this one as this orange, and these ones as red, so we can select the red. And this is how we can do it easily. Now the next one is going to be the bar chart. For that we can repurpose some of these bars. So let's say I want to take 1, 2, 3, 4, Control C, click here, Control V, and I've got these 4 bars. I will bring them here, I would group them and do a rotation of 90 degrees. You will get this thing. I think we need to just flip it over and maybe flip it back. Okay, Control, click, drag, and group the selection. So you've got these bars. In this, I want to change the color to blue. I'm gonna select this one, paste it here, delete one of these, and then I'm gonna select this. This one is, let's say, east, south, north, and then west. Distribute them vertically, and now we have to place this thing. So we click on this group, paste it. We can write it revenue by region. Then we have to bring in some of the data labels. For that, select one of these and paste it here, and let's say it's $18M and it's down by -3%. In W3 schools you will find all of these down and up arrows. You can select any of these. I will select this one and place it here, and then I can say -3%. Okay, then similarly I'm going to do a Control C, Control V. Then we can say that this one is red. I'll choose the up arrow here, make it like this. Let's say all these 3, they have to be green. You will simply click on green. Control, click, drag, right click, ungroup all of these, and then right click, group selection. Okay, so now you've got this one. What you can do is Control C, Control V, do it like it's at the bottom, this one to the right. And then you have to create a bar chart for the product categories, as you can see on the screen. So this will be revenue by product category. You can remove one of the bars and you can keep 3 of them. And in that way you would do the product category, and I leave that part for you. We can copy and paste and do some changes to create the revenue by product category. So you can create this within a minute. Now the third one, which is the last part, that is the sales agent section that we are going to do. So we are going to divide that in 3 parts, as you can see on the screen. And for that, we can simply copy the lines from here. The next part that we are going to do is to create the average sales per agent KPI. For that purpose, we can reuse this KPI. We'll do Control C, paste it here. Okay. And then let's ungroup all of these components. Ungroup selection. Okay, we delete this, we don't need that as well. And this is all what we need. And then we have to create the next KPI. We will copy this and paste it here to make sure that both of these are aligned. And we are going to say percentage of agents meeting targets. I'm gonna make an ellipse. It has to be, let's say, 140 by 140. Then I am going to select the stroke, and this has to be very thick, something like this. This is basically the donut, and the fill, we remove this. For the stroke, we can be a bit creative, is we can say we start from the light color and we go towards the dark color, and we can say that it will be an angular one. Let's bring it here. It will be something like this. Okay, and we would place it, and then we would bring it here. Escape. Fill should be white. And then what we're going to do is create here. You bring in this one, take this, make it up, and then you paste another one. And then we can copy paste that. Let's say if it's 158, 23, and 19. All these 3, they have to be aligned like this, and then we can group them. Also, what we can do is basically we have to bring in one line like this and one line like this. The third one, it could be like this. Okay. Control, click and drag. Selection colors would be light, these ones, and the font colors are these ones. This one, for example, it would be green, orange, and this one is red. Then we have to bring in the number. So say if it's 79%, this has to be in the middle. And then Control, click, drag, right click, group selection. We can put this thing at the top. Then we click and drag, right click, group selection. Now we Control, click. Again, we can group that. The last one is the table. Firstly, we will just copy it, paste it here, bring it like that. Sales agent performance details. And then you have to bring in some kind of table. You can look through the community and you can find any kind of table which looks like this. You can select 2 of these, paste it, bring them here, and then we resize it like this. Firstly, let's get rid of these things, and this one can also come up. And then what we do is we select all of these and expand it like this. Here also we say it's enter, and we reduce the size. Similar with this, we select all of these and it should be enter, reduce the size, make it like this. In this we've got this vector, so we move it up, and then we've got this one, we move all of this group up like this, and then this vector we can move up like this. Replace the text, so it's agent. We are going to select the whole group, Control C, paste it here as another group, right click, group selection, and here we can show that this one is exceeded, near, target. Click and make it something like this. And then we can also change the numbers, but the main logic is how we place the table here and how we can set the colors. What we can do next is put the logo here, icons and the buttons for different pages. For the logo, we will select frame and then image. We'll put it here, bring it and 150, something like this. And then for the icons, let's start with the rectangle. Make one rectangle like this. We can put some text here. So it would be sales overview. Because these are the inactive pages, so I would lighter than this one. Okay, this looks good. And then what we're going to do is to make sure that all of these are vertically equally spaced. Now we are going to bring in the icons. We'll use SVG repo. Now we have to make sure that the color of this icon is the same as this one. So it's going to be, I think this one, yep. Lock the aspect ratio, make it smaller, something like this, and then we can place it here. That looks fine. So now these three, they are going to be grouped. This one, align them first and then group them. This one and this one, align them first and then group them. This one and this one, align them first and then group them. There is an important thing that we have to consider, that this vector is outside this frame, so we have to bring in like this. This vector is outside the frame, but the group name is the same. This is the frame, right? So we'll simply bring in this vector inside here, and then it should be fine. Now we have got these icons. Okay, similarly, we will place the messages icon and the notifications icon as well as the username here. We'll also place the filter here. The filter icon would be the same as the sales overview or the regions icons, the way that we imported it from the SVG repo. We don't have the space for the filters, so control, click and drag, and we would bring these elements down and shift this line a bit upwards. Now we have got the space for the filter, so we'll put the filter here, and then we would put the box for the text or the active filters here. The last part is the welcome message. Quite simple. We will bring in the text box here and we would type the name of the user, make sure that it's auto width, and we can increase it something like this. Then we will copy it, paste it, bring it down, and then we will say here, and then we will also make Another one, sales overview. Now this one, it has to be bold because this is the page title, and it has to be bigger, something like this, more emphasized. And this one has to be smaller, something like this, and lighter in color. This one is fine, and this one is also okay. You just need to make sure that all three of these are aligned towards the left. One last thing, which is very important, is the grouping of these elements, because remember, this is the first time that we are building this kind of dashboard. However, you can always reuse these elements. For example, if you select this one, this is called group 3, so you can always reuse this kind of chart in any other wireframe that you have. Similarly, this KPI style, you can always use this. So this is more like you're building a library within Figma for using them in your future wireframes. Another important thing that I would recommend is, once you are creating a group, maybe you can rename them something like revenue trend chart. So now you know that this is the revenue trend chart. If you click on this, you can call it revenue by region bar chart. If you click on this frame, the best part is that you will see all of the colors that you are using within this frame. And in case if you want to change different objects that have the same color, you can simply click on that particular color, like this one, and you can change it like this. So here what I have noticed is that the color of the agents, this is different than this blue color, right? So what I'm gonna do is simply Control C and paste it here, and that's it. In case if I want to select any of the objects that have this red color, I will simply click on this one, select 11 using this color, and it will select all those objects that are having this color. Another important point about Figma Wireframe is that it's pixel perfect. When you are building the wireframe, you are already defining the X coordinates, Y coordinates, the length and the width, everything. That means that when you are building it in Power BI, you can simply follow these dimensions without worrying about the alignment and things like that. So this is also really important. This is all for this video. Please let me know what you think about this video, and also don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you and have a nice day.